All right, so we just did an activity where we measured whether we recall information better from hearing or from seeing it. And we should have come out with the information that definitely seeing produced better results than hearing. And this unit is all about designing studies so that we can get the most information possible from the data that we collect, and that it's valuable data, not you know, against us. And so let's say, for example, we wanted to know the percent of the American public that thinks the best Super Bowl commercial of all times is Meet Joe Green. And can we actually ask everyone in the world? No, chances are we can't. But I do have this video that I wanted to show you. It is rated number 2, actually, of all time. It happened in 1979. You weren't alive, but I was barely alive. And here it is.
Mr. Green?
Yeah.
You need any help? I just want you to know, I think you're the best ever.
Yeah, sure.
Want my Coke? It's okay, you can have it.
No.
Really, you can have it.
Okay.
A Coke and a smile makes me feel good.
Look at that.
Makes me feel nice. Be around. It's a pleasure, babe. I like to say,
Hey, kid.
whole world smiling with me. Coca-Cola has life. Have a Coke and thanks me, Joe. Smile.
So apparently Coke can even make Mean Joe smile. All right, so that is number 2, literally, of all time Super Bowl bests. Well, that made me smile. All right, so no, we can't ask everyone. And so what we need to do is design our samples. And so today what we're going to do is the students, you'll be able to understand sampling and surveys and why bias must be avoided when sampling. So let's say, for example, this restaurant. Ooh, this looks good. Yeah, so anyway, they're going to come to Knoxville, and they are considering it as a site for their new location. They want to know what percent of families' income is spent on eating out. So think about that, and think about who they might ask to get a good sample. Or let's say Fulton High School is interested in knowing what students would like to name the coffee bar. Oh, I believe that just happened. And so they sent out, I don't know if you remember, but they sent out surveys through Google. So we gather information about only part of the group in order to draw conclusions about the whole. And what we're going to talk about is by sending out the sample through Google Docs or Google Survey or Google Forms or however they did, pretty much the only people that are going to respond are the people that are probably interested in naming the coffee bar. So you're going to get kind of a biased sample in that respect. All right, so let's talk about this. So the population would be the entire group from which we want information. So if we're looking at the coffee bar situation, we'd be looking at Fulton High School students. And then the sample is the part from which we actually collect information. And so in that particular survey, only people who chose to respond responded. But there's other ways we can get a sample, and we're going to talk about that throughout this unit. And so we use this information to draw conclusions then about the entire population. Sampling is just a situation, it's a study of a part in order to gain information about the whole. So if we were to take a census survey, that would be attempting to contact every individual. And so you can think of the United States Census or population census when you want to try to figure out how many people are living in the United States or how many people live in the world. That's an attempt to contact every individual. It's very difficult to do, and so usually that's why we do sampling. But if we do a sample, then we have to determine how representative of the entire population is that sample, and that's where statistics comes in. And so let's just take a look at what we think the population and the sample are in each of these individual settings. So if we look first at the student government at a high school, they're going to survey 100 students at the school to get their opinions about a change in the bell schedule. So the population in this situation would be the high school students, the entire high school. And the sample would be the 100 students that they actually ask their opinions. And hopefully when they ask those 100 students, they'll be representative of the entire population. They're not just going to ask, you know, high school seniors, or they're not just going to ask high school freshmen. They're going to ask a sampling of all grade levels, all different types of people. Here's another example. A quality control manager at a bottling company selects a sample of 10 cans. So obviously we know what the sample is. It's 10 cans from the production line every hour to see whether the volume of soda is within acceptable limits. And so then the population would be the cans every hour. The cans in the production line every hour. And then the sampling would be 10 cans. So now go ahead and stop the video. That's as far as you need to go today. Hopefully you took good notes on the vocabulary that we started. Just a quick population, sample. You should have notes on sampling as well as census. And now you can go ahead and practice on Khan Academy. The new unit is study design. It is in your assignments section. You're going to identify the population and sample. When you are done with the video, it says to pause it, but I just went ahead and made a different video. You're going to continue on. The next video is sample design. All right, good luck. Raise your hand if you have any questions.